8 folks. Yeah,
We have 8 folks waiting already.
cool.
Great.
Should I just
Yeah, so
share
hi,
my screen and keep it, or is
we'll share it when we start. All right. So
okay? Cool.
when I, okay, so hi everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We see that there are some people already joined in. So if you have any questions, just leave them in the chat. We have Rajiv with us. He'll be answering them for you. And if you want to tell us where you are joining from, who you are, we'll be really happy to know that. So yeah, thank you for joining, and let's make it a good one. Right. So hi Leher, hi Sai. Yeah, great to have you guys here. If you guys have any questions before we start, just leave them in the chat. We'll be starting in a few minutes. Yeah, hi Ajita. So these are all the regular people who attend quite regularly. So thank you for attending, guys. Is it raining very heavily there? Because there's a lot of noise, rain noise on your side.
Is it you're asking on my side?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
It's not
Okay.
it's not raining right now, but it is actually drizzling. So
Okay, okay.
we can in 1 hour we can expect a good rain. So, but it's fine.
Okay. All right, all right.
Hopefully the network doesn't crash.
Yeah, we hope so. Yeah, hi Jahan. So these are all the people that join pretty regularly, and thank you everyone. So we'll be starting in a few minutes. So in case you have any questions before that, feel free to leave them in the chat. We'll be more than happy to answer them for you. Yeah, hi Menka. Great to see you here. Right, we'll be starting in another 2 minutes.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Can you hear me all right, Rajiv?
Yes, I can hear you, Karan, clearly.
Okay, okay, great. Yeah, so I think we can start now. We have a good number of people joining us. Yeah, so thank you everyone for joining in today. We have an exciting session for you. So in this session, all we wanted to clear out was how you can do usability testing on your designs. So designing is one thing, making UI designs, researching for it is one thing, and testing it with actual users is another. So this session, we are going to walk you through some ways in which you can do usability testing on a budget. So if you're working individually and if you are working in a company that doesn't have a lot of budget for usability testing, Rajiv is going to share some tips with you, and he'll be sharing how he did it in his company and how he did it in his own projects. So yeah, I think we have an exciting session. We have Rajiv with us. He's the lead UX designer at Mindtree, and apart from work, he is involved into a lot of pet projects that he does from time to time. And he mentioned that he started a few projects just in the lockdown. So that is one thing he's passionate about. He also has his own initiative by the name of Design Jam, and also does some mentorship on the side. All the links are in the description where you can find Rajiv and also me. And also he's into a lot of sports, cricket and table tennis. So a pretty well-rounded and a versatile person. So yeah, I will let you take it away from here, Rajiv. And yeah, so let us start with it.
Okay. Firstly, I want to just get a check that is my voice audible for you, Karan?
Yeah, it's audible. It's very clear.
Okay. Okay. So, hello, folks. I'm simultaneously seeing a lot of people coming in, and hello to all, each and every one, name by name, person by person. we'll get interactive in the whole session, and it's basically running like half an hour of me presenting something with you, which will be very interactive. And also in the course of time, I need some kind of your engagements, because there are a lot of resonating thoughts in my deck, presentation deck, where you all can definitely connect the dots. Maybe you can from your previous experiences. So as Karan has given my introduction, I don't want to waste time on it, and get into the real how we want to do usability testing. So the whole agenda of this is basically to help each and every designers to learn how to do usability testing. And right now it's remote, so a lot of things remotely I'll be telling you and sharing you. But it's a mix of both, where I did usability testing before the lockdown. So it also a lot of nuances, and like there is some kind of a hiccup for designers, as they say that companies don't invest in usability experts. So it's not at all true. It's basically a designer should be able to do a fundamental usability testing, so that a formative and summative analysis he can get about what his solution is, his or her solution is working or not. So as simple as that. Okay. So without wasting any time, I would like to share my deck, and would like to shoot. In the course of time, I would want your inputs. You can share your questions in the chat, and we'll take it up after 30 minutes of the session. And 25 to 30 minutes of the second half of this 1 hour will be fully about Q&A, and we'll be sharing your take on this, and how actually you all have any doubts on how to solve it. So end of the day, you'll have some templates which I'm going to share, through which you can actually do your usability testings.
Right before we
Hopefully,
start,
I
Rajiv, so yeah,
yeah,
just one question from the chat. So just let
sure.
us know what you think about usability testing. Uh, in the chat, write your opinion and write what you think about it. So we have clarity about where you're coming from and what we have to cater to today. All right. So just leave your answers in the chat. What you know about usability testing and what you think it actually is. All right. Yeah, Rajiv. Yeah, I think we can start.
No, there is some hiccups in the audio. So, what do you want me to clarify, Karan?
I don't want you to clarify anything. I just want some answers from the chat as to what they think about what usability testing is and what their opinion is about usability testing. So you can start
Oh,
presenting. Nothing from your side. Just
sure, sure. That's
right.
nice. So it's good that Karan. So we can start off like any whoever is joining here on the chat. You can let me know what do you think usability testing is, to be starting off, and how you are able to do it in just quick liners. That's it. What do you think? What is usability testing or user testing, or testing which you do it in your pet projects or live projects? Just let us know in the experience in the chats itself. Okay. So let's start. So this is the structure of this 1 hour is basically 25 to 30 minutes of presentation, and I have planned it out very seamlessly, and with some examples. So it will be very easily you are diving into the hierarchy of the content. And next 30 minutes we'll have Q&A session moderated by Karan and me. We'll take all the Q&As. We'll try to answer most of all the questions in this session. Okay, so how many of you are excited? Just write, just leave a boom in the chat. It would be you can have this sessions going on. I hopefully Karan, you can see the screen where I'm shared the let's see an example, right?
Right. It's visible everywhere.
Okay. So let's start with something called Google Plus as an example. I just wanted to think, I was also thinking how to start with usability testing for people to really understand the value of a testing, basically anything. It's either a usability testing or user testing, whatever you can call it. But there's a slight difference in the course of time, I'll tell you. But no need to get confused. It's basically testing. You need to test your solution. Is it fine or not? But why I'm starting with Google Plus is basically, let's see why Google Plus born. The birth of Google Plus happened in June 28, 2011. Okay, and it took like what 8 years, and it got lost. It basically died off, and the project was discontinued. There are specific reasons. The reason was disengagement on Google Plus. Did Google take 8 years to understand that disengagement is one reason? I don't think so. So there is a designer from Google who worked on this project, and she wrote a whole blog about what was the particular reasons that it got discontinued or it was not a hit. And this was at the time of 2011, is basically when Facebook was reaching its social networking boom, basically the growth of years of Facebook. So exactly it kept, so basic intent of Google Plus was to make it a social platform, compete with Facebook. The goals were like this in the projects which they actually started with: increase users, and they wanted users to share everything, from their mails to their thoughts to their social posts and etc., from all social channels. And one of the things in this whole course of time they avoided, or maybe they just skipped, is basically constantly and consistently testing with their actual users. It was every Google product is a pet project. Basically, Gmail was something which was actually done by two designers. They started as a small pet project inside Google, as hobby projects they have, and it later on scaled down because of the potential. But this was something, when they were massively scaling also, they initially didn't do the testing part of it. And the whole blog is shared in the description link. In the description there is a link about the blog, and in the Notion, Karan has just given a Notion link where you can all find the source links of this stuff, so you can read. It's a lovely story said by and told by an ex Google designer. It was little politics also, but end of the day they were unable to figure out what were the needs of the users. Users are not here to share all of their content. They want to connect with relevant connections. They wanted to map it like one social element or platform, where from mailing till texting or social or like a corporate like LinkedIn, everything they wanted to map in one solution. And it's like too many legs in too many areas. It can't happen. You need to focus on one. I think so in the iteration and the testing phase they would have got this kind of a needs. Basically in testing you will get to know that what users actually are using. So it cannot take 8 years to figure them out that this product is not viable or people are unable to use it. So somewhere there were hiccups. So this is one of the examples I striked in my mind. It was like 10 years ago this started off, and 2015 I was using this and I just saw it and I just skipped it. It was like fully skipped software solution from Google which users actually didn't use it. So let's go a little bit deeper. Why test anything? So what do you guys think about the Google Plus? Have you all, can you all resonate? Have you all used Google Plus? Leave a comment as yes. So I can resonate that a lot of people have used it. So let's go to why test anything in the first place. Okay. Now, guys, I want every one of you to just see the screen for some time and let me know, have you heard these kind of phrases in your design projects? It can be a pet project, it can be a school project, it can be a college project, it can be a company project. Let me know how many of you have can resonate with these kind of terminologies used by your team members or your jury members or your senior designers. If anyone can resonate, just put yes in the comment section. And also if something you can resonate elsewhere than this, be like people commenting on your UI design that this navigation hamburger icon doesn't work, no one can resonate with it, let's use some consistent icon like option 3 dots, etc. A lot of things on UI elements, a lot of things on functionality elements, a lot of things on like the font sizes, the font types, the font choices. Lot of judgments have been told to you about how many. Just let me know in the comment section as yes. Cool. So here some of the things, these are some things which I really got about the reviews about on my proposed solutions, like, but it's not clear there would be any value from the solution. Basically it's the long term intention of the product. Okay. They're commenting, oh, but we don't have enough time to run user tests. This is one of the underrated um, process which people think in industries. And also in your pet projects, also in your, like, if you're working in a freelancing kind of a stuff, or even if you are doing an internship in a company, you are working on some solutions, right? When you're working on some solutions, end of the day you are just making some screens and giving it off, right? Somewhere, I'm not saying majority of the people are doing that, but in the course of time, this is most underrated terminology of user testing. It's been outsourced to a lot of usability experts, which never turn up to your company, or neither your company actually hires them. So that's the point of here which I'm putting. People are not too tech savvy. They won't understand this fancy design. They are used to the system from past 10 years. Don't change anything. They won't use it. This content won't work as it is too short for people to understand. All these are basically assumptions. Yes, with some kind of a gut feeling and experience, people can get to this, which might be right or can totally be wrong. Okay, so here we are not actually offending the other person by telling that no, your experience doesn't matter, but yes, in a kind way you are telling them, let's put the ball in the user's court. If it gets rejected, yes, as a designer, I'll be the first person to actually redesign it. You have to keep your mind open, because this is not an art which you're doing for yourself. It's basically you are doing it for the users. End of the day, you want them to use it, and you want the ball to in their court. So let's talk in a different ways with your people or your jury member or your team members when they are coming up with a solution and they're not testing it. So the problem of not testing it, basically a company like Google has faced a backlash of it. So I think so individually we need to feel confident and have this, imbibe this culture of testing our solutions, which is very normal, and we can do it with zero cost. This is the whole point of this presentation and this talk which we are having today. Okay, so let's dive below with some kind of a facts. I want to talk about facts because I want to um, put things very groundedly. So 80% of the organizations, according to a research by Gartner and Capgemini reports, these are like companies, analytics companies who actually do analysis of corporate worlds. Okay, so 80% of organizations in the whole world expect to compete mainly based on customer experience. Okay, they think 75% of organizations believe that they are user centric. Basically, they are believing that we are designing for the users, keeping users in the center of the whole product. But it's totally different with consumers who are actually using the product of those same companies. 30% only of the consumers believe that the company is, it's the same case, that companies are really thinking about the user as they are actually proposing or actually telling. So there is a gap, 75% to 30%. There is a big gap. This gap is known as empathy gap. Basically, it's basically companies unable to empathize with their users so that they get user centric solutions or products which are very user centric. User is at the core, problem solving. So why am I talking about empathy? Because testing, usability testing and empathy goes hand in hand. So let's come to the final. A simple definition of usability testing is a reality check or validate if something is working or not. Is as simple as that. You need a reality check. You need to understand and validate own proposed solution with the users keeping in mind in the sessions. So here, while when we are doing this, two things you are getting out of this. Basically, you're empathizing with your users and you are in their shoes when they are actually performing or using your solution. And the other thing is validation. Validation is the core thing of why usability testing came into existence. Okay, let's get into a little bit detail. How many of you know that what is qualitative and quantitative data which we get out of user testing? If you know, just leave a comment in the comment section. Yes.
You can also write a detailed answer. That would be great to let us know
Sorry.
what you
Sorry,
think
Karan.
about quantitative
Can
and
you hear me?
no, I am just asking. Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just asking people that they can leave what they know about
Okay.
qualitative and quantitative data. So there's an answer.
It's very
Quants
true.
is just
It's
survey.
you can leave three words of what is qualitative. Yeah, sure. So someone is just a survey. Good. I think so. Yes, you can actually use quantitative slash what is qualitative. What do you mean? Quantitative slash keyword slash keyword. You can actually use that.
Qualitative user interviews, right? Right. I
Okay.
think peop-
Maybe
they have some
terms which
idea. Mhm.
we measure. It's a very nicely put out. Yes, that is part of what is quantitative. Yes,
Right. I think they have a fair
true.
idea.
Good. I think so. There's a good amount of people who know basic about it. So it's I just wanted to know that what level we can actually pick it up from. Quantitative is basically something which is subjective and which actually kind of let's resemble with a feedback, a verbal feedback, okay, a written feedback, reviews, testimonials, interviews basically verbally expressing their feelings while using your solution. There is one term called think out loud. Okay, people think out loud while they are using your solution. So you also can be doing this when you're actually designing your solution and I think so I can't figure out this option. I can, so when you are actually speaking out your mind. Okay, so all these where it's a very qualitative data coming directly from the users and in subjective formats which can be used very nicely to iterate our solutions. So these are where our design clues lie. Okay, let's come to the quantitative part of it. Yes, it is about quantity, it's about numbers, it's about matrix. So what kind of matrix, you might ask? There are different kinds of matrix. It can be experience matrix. Experience matrix is nothing but ratings of your experience under different parameters of usability. Okay, I'll tell you what are the different parameters and components. Time matrix, as simple as that, the name suggests, is basically about increase of time. If increase, are you actually making it? Increase of time also doesn't bother to the user. There's another called money matrix. You're saving a lot of companies ke liye, if you save time, it's basically saving money. But a lot of companies also want just money to be saved at a higher cost, even if the time is increased. You can save it in different ways, but set your priorities and figure out what we are now discussing. What is quantitative?
Rajiv,
Num.
there's some internet issue on your side.
Okay,
The video
these
is
are
breaking in between.
okay. So can you hear me now?
Yeah, I we can hear you, but I think there's some internet lag. I think because of the rains that have been going on in your area. The
True.
internet is a
True.
bit lagging.
So just let me know. Okay, let me know if you have some issues now.
Okay.
Can you hear me now clearly? I'm
I
just
think
test running it, speaking so that you can hear.
yeah, we can hear you, but it
Okay, my
was
voice
going
is
out
breaking
of,
up.
out of sync. Now it's fine. Now
So
it's
yeah, yeah. I'll just carry on. Let me know if in the course of
right,
time you
right,
are feeling that issue again. Okay, I'll just stop and just
right, right.
continue it. Okay.
Yeah, sure, sure.
So yes,
Great.
so coming ahead, how do you measure these matrices is basically with the units, numbers, ratings, and percentages. And one more thing I would be adding in this quantitative is basically what I did for my projects is as a designer, you need to understand whatever problem or whatever solution you are putting out over there and testing. After testing, you need to also calculate what is the impact of value matrix which you are putting out. Okay, so in this whole session I'll be also talking about this new terminology which I think so a lot of people have might heard about it also. So how many of you have heard about impact of value matrix? If you all have heard about it, you can leave in the comment section as impact.
Very
So,
impactful.
Karan, can you hear me? I just wanted to verify once.
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. All right. It's better than before now.
Okay, cool, cool. Okay, okay, okay.
Right. I think we can continue. People leave in the chat impact.
Definitely. Here's the thing, guys. Let's get into how I did it. Okay. So before starting your usability testing or user testing, what do the first thing you need to actually have a clearly defined goal. Okay. Are you trying what are you trying to achieve after this user testing or usability testing? Are you trying to impact conversion with this solution? Just think about what with the solution, what are you impacting for or what are you aiming for? Okay. Every project has a goal. You might have 10 goals, you might have top priority 5 goals or top priority 3 goals, and rest are like second priority goals. Okay. So how, what is the goal? First you define it for yourself for your solution, because I'll give you an example. Some solutions can be to actually just let the users order their favorite dish and finally track their dish. It can be a Swiggy case. Some solutions can be let the user, let's make the solution efficient so that they can do their work in half of the time what they're doing now. It can be a YouTube creation of a video or YouTube hosting of a live video. Anything content creators के लिए कुछ solution. It can be different. It can be for increasing customer satisfaction and ratings in the course of time. That is also in the form of how fast they're finishing their use case, or how fast they're finishing the tasks which they actually want to finish through your solution. So in call centers kind of a scenario where you are actually designing a solution for call centers, the third thing can be actually useful. Are you trying to impact the deflection of support calls? So are you trying to impact efficiency? Efficiency is what I told you in the second example, where half of the time you're taking for for your user to actually complete his task. So first of all, keep your goals very clear for your project. This will actually align what in the user testing, how you can actually design your feedback and take that feedback from them. Okay, let's show you an example with my recent project and its finding. Okay, this is a live project which I worked in my company, but a lot of things are white labeled. It's an NDA project, but yes, the process I'll be telling you of how I conducted them and what I got through it, and my process of approaching that testing phases or the days when I was actually testing it. So, how many of you know a POS solution? What is a POS solution? In the comment, just reply POS, POSS. So basically, redesigning a POS solution for India's top jewelry brand. This was what I was doing as a project. And POS full form is basically points of sale system. Okay. Like example, I'll give you. If you go to a Kalyan jeweler store, an officer, retail sales officer who comes to you, approaches you with an iPad or a tablet and shows you a catalog of products, and then he tells you to buy, and from there he actually bills it to you and etc. and posts purchase services, everything end to end. That is a POS solution, basically points of sale system. Okay, it's not only restrict to jewelry brands or retailers, it is across retail brands or e-commerce brands. It is used in IKEA, it is used in different jewelers, it is used in lot of shopping brands, Shopper Stop, etc. Other lot of brands which are perfume brands, etc. So yes, this is something which is industry standards and enterprise solution. Okay. So this is the context I'll give you. So let's come back a little bit, and y'all don't get into the technical of the stuff. Okay, I've got to into it. I've enjoyed it. Just leave it. It might be boring for you, but from your perspective, what do you think? What keywords come to your mind when you actually think about jewelry store solution? A solution for jewelry store, an online software solution for jewelry store. Kindly leave those keywords in the chat section. So like example I'll give you, if you think about jewelry section, I think about a lot of numbers, because gold rates and fluctuations of gold rates and different gold give platinum rates, etc. All so my keyword can be uh, numbers or complex calculations. So what do you think about jewelry store when you are actually redesigning or designing something for it? Just leave it in the chat, whatever keywords you think.
Subject to market
In the
risk.
course of time, yeah, yeah. Some I can
Yeah.
actually see the chat, but it's not coming out. But no issues. So let me just, due to the respect of time, I had some keywords, thought about it, and definitely y'all can also add to this. But this is a jumble of keywords. Okay, elegance. We are dealing with products which are elegant, luxury. Okay, dynamic. Yes, security. Menka, a good keyword. Dynamic. Dynamic means it keeps on changing. Gold rate 3 times changes per day. Okay. Complex is the numbers and the calculation and the sales. Again, combinations. Combinations is multiple products. If my gold rate is different, platinum rate is different, silver rate is different, then you put it in a bill. Different rates apply, and it is the combination of numbers. It's complex. Okay, effective, consistent, intelligent. Efficiency is one of the things, because every um in enterprise solutions, basically saving time is a lot of value for money, lot of value for your customer. A customer coming to a boutique and trying to purchase a jewelry and he is waiting for 2 hours, that is not an efficient solution. So 2 minutes में आपका bill करके आपको भेज रहा, that is a very efficient solution. And also with that, what happens with efficiency is that you're not only cutting down on time, you are also cutting down on time for employees and users to spend time for more valuable things. Not just for 2 rings, you don't want to spend like half an hour. Okay, so I want them to explore more valuable stuff which they want. Okay, so, but what we did is that as a solution, we actually had our goals very prominent. So, what we did, we were focusing on a goal. What was that goal? Our goal was simple. We were we were thinking that complexity, efficiency, and effectiveness are some keywords which we want to target. Okay, we want our users to solve efficiency. We want our users to, in this complex solution, make it ease of use. Okay, it should be intuitive. Okay, that was our prior. There are set of 5 6 goals which we had, but the priority two ones were these two. Okay, we came up with a goal for us that our solution should be efficient. It should save time for our users. They have to do other tasks which they feel more value about. And definitely it's a complex solution, so we should make it simple to use. It should be as simple as you are using any of your apps which you are using on your phone, the top apps or whatever simple apps we give which you're using on your phone, taking an example. Okay, so let's, now I have some goals fixed in my mind. Okay, now I'm going to actually uh, plan my user testing. Okay, so to plan your users testing, first thing is to define your whole solution. Okay, it can be any software you're using, Adobe XD, or it can be a PPT also, to create your designs or your UI screens. So the left section is basically the, once the prototype is ready end to end, you need to also think about how many tasks you want to perform. You want to let your users to perform that usability testing. Okay, what you designed one solution, like example I'll take, you have designed a food ordering solution. Okay, now food ordering solution में कितने टास्क होते हैं? Searching for your best dishes. Okay, from 5 restaurants is one thing. Searching directly some kind of or ordering something which is online. Can you hear me, Karan?
Yeah, your voice is audible. Yeah, it's okay.
Audible, right? Is it fine? Just I wanted to
Yeah,
check.
yeah, it's fine. Yeah, you can
Oh,
go ahead.
okay. Okay. So whenever you're designing a solution, there are some kind of tasks. So put those tasks as 1 2 3 and just jot it down. Due to interest of time, I'm gonna just go a little bit slow, guys. Okay. Sorry, a little bit fast. So going ahead, I decided that I will test these 10 tasks with this one solution end to end. I actually designed the whole prototype. It's a design prototype. It's not a developed coded version. So my design prototype was ready and my 10 tasks were ready. Now my next task was that let's call in for some users to test. Okay, 3 users is fine for the first usability testing. We decided 3 users is fine, but 3 users may we will take different age groups so that we can get different variety of data, like a new hired jewelry retail sales officer who is like in the age group of 25 to 30, and then an experienced one of 10 years like 35 to 40 age group, and then we took a very experienced person who is like 55 to 60k each. Okay, then we called up them and we arranged a session with them. We had a call and we went through the client. Okay, so the client arranged for us, we gave our requirements and he gave us these 3. But normally agar aapke client, I know the audiences are doing pet projects, so pet projects mein it's more simple. What I do is, for my pet projects, I go in my mutual connections and my whole circle of connections, and I just pick up a few users which I can actually test them with. This is very easy. Okay, and finally I came out with this UT feedback form. Now let's take, my users are ready, my goal is ready, my final feedback form I should take before I am going to a user testing the solution. So while you're testing the solution, this is something which you need to carry after each task is finished. You need to fill this form. So what is this form about? I'll just break the anatomy of this form so that you can understand. The first section of the form is basically project details. If you're working in a company or etc., you can fill these details in a detailed format way. Usability testing, what is the number? There'll be number of usability testings which we'll be doing. So these is the number. Company client project module. Okay, these are the project details. Let's go ahead to the second. It's basically demographics. Knowing the age, what kind of a role he's playing in that company, or the gender, how much experience does he has, and what is his experience using this solution. Okay, these are some kind of demographics. Finally, there is a task to do. Yes, the 10 tasks which we enlisted on the previous two slides before, which I showed, that task you need to write it over here. Like ordering food from Sri Kanya restaurant. This is one task. I want to order it, place an order, and do the payment and track my order. This is whole one task. I'll write this task over here. Now comes little bit quantitative data. Time matrix on the left side, if you see, is basically for proposed and existing solutions. If existing solution you are redesigning it, then you need to put time taken for now which you are doing, which in your proposed solution to complete this task, and existing time how much it's taking in the existing solution. Okay, you need to fill it here so that comparatively you can see what is in the proposed solution and what is in the existing solution. Okay, if it is a new product, it's a no redesign, it's a something you are designing very new, then I think so this field existing need not be there. Then you intelligently, what you can do is that you can take competitors. If you're designing something, a new thing for food ordering, then I think so you can take competitors like Swiggy and unke देखो कि कितना time उसमें लेते हैं, and you can put that. Okay, so this is time taken. Guidance needed is basically how much you are guiding the user to finish the task. So example, you can rate it on 0 to 1, 0 to 10. Okay, now you started one task with your user. Okay, he is taking like 5 minutes to complete the task, but in that 5 minutes you guided him 3 times. You write over there like 6 out of 10. I guided 60% of the whole solution of the whole task. What this gives is that this gives you an insight that it's not intuitive. They can't figure out by themselves. Okay, so somewhere you will find solutions to have a toaster, or where you can actually show tool tips where it is showing instructions of how to use it, how Swiggy in the app does it. So yes, these are some kind of insights, but just take all this data. Okay, let's go to the next. So here comes, there is a blog shared in the description, Notion link, which Karan has put in the description. Please go to that link. There is an NN group, Nelson Norman group website. They have mentioned usability components and parameters. Okay, these are taken from that, and I have tweaked it for my goals My goals needs effectiveness, efficiency, desirability, delightfulness, memorability. Okay. So I laid out 5 parameters here on 0 to 10, which asked the users to fill it after every task. Okay. So these are the usability matrix. These are the usability ratings, parameters ratings. Okay. So I have taken memorability, effectiveness, efficiency, desirable, and delightful. You can get this template. Don't worry, guys. There is a blog in the description link, Medium blog. There you can go and download the AI file, Illustrator, or else the PDF, which you can use it in your Photoshop and edit it according to your project. Okay. So, and the final section is overall experience. This is nothing but the average of the all parameters which you have taken above. Let's, and the final one is the authentication. Who conducted this? And finally, the user signature. You can take a digital signature now remotely, but rest all data you can fill. And finally, the template looks like this, guys. How many of you like this? Just put a
Yeah,
like um, in the comment section,
in the chat. In the chat. Yeah.
in the chat.
I would like to ask you one thing, that how did you
Go
rate
ahead.
these parameters while making the user use the product? I mean, how did you rate it for
How did
memorability,
you
say
rate
for
this?
example?
Sorry, I didn't get you. How did I rate this product after each task on these usability?
No, how did you rate them on these metric analysis, pointers? Like so if I use a product, how would you rate it on memorability by seeing me use the product or things like that?
True. So true. So here I am not rating it. So basically, I'm asking them how much do you? We explain them. So here below memorability, we explain what is memorability, because memorability is nothing but do you will you relearn each time when you are performing this task? So it's as simple. You need to explain them what are these different parameters, and then ask them the rating. Tell them to give genuine ratings. In small tip, what I did is that I comforted our user before going to the testing. I explained the whole template. I explained what parameters are there and told them to give genuine feedback and not to give full ratings. I told it from my side because we didn't want a fully successful rating or whatever. Sometimes users are overwhelmed with the solution, they try to give you like 10, but I have told them not to give full marks. There is some kind of improvement, that please kindly give genuine ratings on it. If you feel it is 3, please give 3. If you think it is it's too time taking, please give 2 ratings. So you need to actually comfort the user to give very genuine, and fundamentally you need to actually free the user. So before the testing you need to actually talk with them 15-20 minutes. Don't get directly showing the solution and taking the feedback. Okay, this is your responsibility as a designer to comfort your users. Okay, I hope so that answers your question.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Okay. Okay. So in this template, I've explained what are the parameters below each of the parameters specifically, so that you can actually talk. And it's good to give this feedback template 1 day prior to the your users before the interview, so that they are well versed with what they are gonna do in the next day of the testing. Okay. So let's go ahead with some tools, guys. I think so. I've showed you how to do it. Now I'll show you how the tools can be used. So for this example, what I did is basically these 3 tools I've used. Okay, Adobe XD to design the prototype end to end and record in Adobe prototype link only, where you can preview it. Okay, I shared the link with them and I sat with our users, and in front of me they were doing it. Okay, so I just told them that you need to perform this task, and they were able to do it. I was recording it. Yeah. Then again, Loom is one of the plugin which is again there in the Notion link. It's basically a plugin on your web browser. Remotely, I was doing remotely this testing, so I actually installed the plugin. And when I was sharing my screen and he was actually testing it on his browser, I was recording the whole session, which is with the user's expressions, and you need to tell the user to think out loud when they're actually doing or using your solution to perform the task. Okay, thinking out loud is a technique. which you can record it, and for future documentation you can actually refer it. Okay, it's easy to have an audio file always with you. And there's a final one good free tool on the browser itself again, which is gaze recorder. It's basically eye tracking tool which gives you heat map analysis. Let me show you some example of it. So this is two UIs. One is UI is also a little bit UI and also a stereo dashboard of Tesla's car, which is on the left side. So this is the heat map analysis for my eye, which I performed it on my laptop on the browser. And right side is my LinkedIn profile, which I only performed. Gave this to my sister, and she performed it for me. And this is how she was actually viewing my profile on LinkedIn. But I want to show you some example. This is something which I explored in the morning, and I wanted you all to show. So this is how dynamic it is. So I hope so you all can see the screen and the video, Karan, right?
Yeah, we can see your screen. So what is
Yeah, so
actually
you can see
happening
the.
here?
So are you seeing the video playing? There's a bubble of heat
Yeah, yeah,
map
yeah.
which is coming on the screen. Yes,
Yeah, it is
exactly.
getting
So this is an
generated.
online thing. Yes. So this is actually a live recorded thing of 20 seconds you can perform with a free account which you create on Gaze Recorder. Okay. It's the same link which I provided. What you can do is that it's basically tracking. This is the next level of user testing where you want to know where your user is looking when he's coming to your solution, how much time he's spending seeing some content. Okay. This is also one user analysis ratings. Okay. So through this I can get a analysis by doing it by 5 users. And if I get an heat map analysis that he is viewing the center space where the car is actually moving on the road, then I get an analysis that this is more focused area, and this is a very good analysis which I can take back. There might be some solutions that he is viewing the map, least viewing the map on the left side, which is a 3D map. That can be an analysis that so many people are least viewing that, so can we hide it a little bit? Actually your validation points, your analysis will take you to some design decisions which you can take in the course of time. Okay, it has a very strong point why we are doing this. So here all the assumptions that people say that people won't use this font, people won't see this map, this font is not visible, all this assumptions will be valid when you validate with concrete data like this, like audio or video or ratings or interviews. All this stuff nullifies the assumptions, and even if your assumptions were true, concretely you get a validation, which in the course of time you can also be sure about, because assumptions people are not sure about, but validations people become sure about. Okay, so
Just
this
one
is
question. Is does this
sure.
require your camera permission? Does it track your
Yes, you need
eyesight
your
or
camera permission.
eyeballs?
Yes.
Okay, okay, great.
So I'll show you one thing. So this is where it actually, this is the website where you can actually add image files, or add a website URL. I added an image, uploaded, and I started eye tracking. So it calibrates your eye movement for like 10 seconds, and then it starts the session, which is recorded for 20 seconds of each session for a free account. Okay, so in the course of time you can use this for multiple pages. If you're designing like 10 UI screens, 10 UI screens get 10 recordings you can have. Okay, this is workaround way of using a free account. That's it, as simple as that. Okay, so is that clear?
Yeah,
Okay,
your
will
video got
little bit
stuck.
slow. Okay, can you view? It is on the let's come to impact of value matrix.
Right, right. I can see it now.
Okay, let's quickly go through impact and value matrix. This is where, just keeping in mind all the tasks which you have performed, now we are actually finding the macro level of what are the validations. Now you have done for each task, like how much time saved, what are the ratings on parameters of usability and etc. Now we are seeing the bigger picture. Designers should see the bigger picture. If you're designing a whole solution where you are designing like 25 tasks, each task का तो अभी आपको पता लग गया, but you want to see a bigger picture of how you are impacting it. There comes impact and value. So this is an anatomy of impact analysis template what we did for a project. Basically, top is the project details, left side is the serial numbers, and here we are actually adding the tasks. How many total tasks have done? Okay. Can you all hear me, Karan, and see the screen?
Yeah, it's working great now.
Okay. Okay. So all these tasks have enlisted. Next, just beside the tasks, I have put frequency. Okay. This is for if one task in an enterprise solution, what we were doing, we added frequency. Like one task, they were doing it 3 times a day. And there are some tasks which they do once a week. So we kept that frequency here. Of some consumer apps, you might think that this can be used or cannot be used, but take your conscious call to edit this template. And finally, we put the time matrix over here. So the third column, which is loaded, is basically a time matrix where the first column is existing time. If an existing solution is there, proposed time, and time saved. Basically, whatever two you get of existing time and proposed time, that's what you save it over here by subtracting the difference. And then there is a final feature which we added of wow features. Basically, in redesign solutions, you redesign 10 features which are similar, but also in the redesign, you add some new features which are like wow features. So in 10 tasks, we designed 6 tasks which were redesign of the solution, but efficiently designed and saved time. And also 4 new features or tasks we added so that they can more efficiently do good tasks. So again, total users tested for each task, put it over here. This is the 5th column. And final is the usability matrix and the overall experience ratings. So for each task, take the ratings of 0 to 10, whatever you have got. And the dark gray portions or the dark gray tiles or boxes which you are seeing are the high priority information insights which we are looking for. On the time matrix, the final 3 um, components are basically the final time saved, and these are all the time ratings which you're getting from the usability matrix. And there is a final column added at below, a row, which is called impact matrix, where the darker two versions, darker gray versions are time invested and saved and possible revenue growth. Okay. So in this whole structure, I also understood that reviews and qualitative data should also be taken. So these are all quantitative data, and these ratings are also qualitative plus quantitative. But I have also ordered a final column, which is qualitative data, where you can actually put links. You can make this in an Excel sheet, and you can finally put links to your testimonials or reviews or interviews which you have taken online, where users are telling how effective or efficient they are using the solution. Qualitative data. So your all stakeholders and your members can actually refer this whole document. This is a concise document. This actually is a bomb of value. Okay. This is the final template which we did for our project in Mindtree. All these are white labeled, so you can't see it, but the numbers you can see it. So through this testing, we got to know that we saved like 7.5 hours daily for our employees in that store, which means we impacted with our solution. That means we created a time for potential revenue of 40 crores per day, and it was a massive success. It's a case study which is being documented in Mindtree, and I'm proud that I was part of it. And we designed this whole usability testing without hiring usability experts. And then after that, we did for final UAT testing, which is called user acceptance testing, which is done after the solution is developed. So next month it's going live to all the stores worldwide and in India. So what is all this about? So we created these 2 templates of impact metrics and the feedback template so that all designers can use this and test it by themselves. It's as simple as that. So what we achieved through this is that zero cost, zero. Okay. We didn't spend a penny out of our pocket and also from our company or client's pocket. 1 week of planning, that's it. We designed this template. 1 week of planning means we had 2 designers in hand, and we conducted with the 3 users. 4 hours to execute. We executed in 4 hours with 3 users testing. If we plan out very efficiently, or your users to turn up on that day, and you should do for each user, you should do it separately. And for each user, when you're testing, have 2 people with you. One who's actually talking to your user and engaging them, and the other who's actually taking notes. Okay, note making is also good stuff. The other person is silent, it should take notes. So that's the achievement of this project, and lots of learning. The whole crux of this whole point is that there are a lot of other tools. Now you all can tell that there are tools which are online which are helping us to the usability testing, but why are we not using that? So the point over here is that we are too much designers are getting dependent on usability experts for initial testings. If a project is of 6 months, will you wait for the fifth month for a third party usability expert to come into picture and test your solution, and then you have only 1 month for the launch? How will you reiterate it? So yes, from 1 month onwards, when you're coming up with concepts, when I'm coming up with formative concepts, you need to do formative user testing. So build a solution quickly, talk with 3 users or 4 users or 10 users with different days, like 3 users one day. If you want, if you're doing 25 users, do it. A good sample size is, as told by Nelson Norman Group, is that a good sample size is 6 to 8 users. You will get all the different dynamics. But still, we did, for our solution, we did 9 users. 3 on one day, 3 on a next Saturday, and the next week we did the last 3. But all these solutions out there are not free. That's why, as Mindtree, we got a brief that we can't spend more on usability experts. So why not we let's try it out with an expertise of what we have in our design team. So we had this, we did it, and after that we got all this analysis, which was 98% accurate to the final coded developed version of the solution, which was an achievement for us again. So somewhere hiccups honge idhar udhar, like 2% 3% will vary, but I think so you are actually seeing the crux of it. You're seeing the macro level to a micro level also. So all these solutions are there, user testing, all these links of different usability testing solutions which are out there are again in the Notion link, which Karan has put in the description. Can have a look. So don't depend completely on these tools which are there online. Try to do it yourself. Okay, the key is to learn in the process. We are also learning it to make it more remote now. So different plugins we are using. End of the day, it's basically it triggers your decisions in whatever design or development of business or pet projects or in your college or anywhere. I think so it works out or scales for everywhere. So sorry for the time consuming, but it's fine. We'll take some quick questions, Karan, and you can moderate it from now.
Right, right. Yeah, thank you so much. I think it was very insightful. And yeah, so there are a few questions that we have. So we can address them
Cool.
quickly.
So should I
Okay.
stop this
So
sharing?
yeah, I have removed the screen sharing, so you can stop it if you want.
Okay, cool.
It is not visible on the
Cool.
YouTube live. So the first question is
See,
on the screen, where you can see how exactly do
the
you
question is,
explain
how exactly
metrics?
do you explain matrix? What do you explain matrix? What can you actually pinpoint? Explain matrix to whom? Users or what, Prahash? If you're saying it for users,
No,
explain matrix for users is basically.
it
Yeah.
is he's asking for himself, I think.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. He's asking for himself that how would you explain metrics to him? What exactly are
Himself.
metrics?
Okay. So exactly, matrix is nothing but basically gives you some sort of data to validate your solution. Example, matrix is time matrix, and another matrix is
Your,
value matrix.
your voice is breaking,
Is
Rajiv.
this a desirable solution? Is this a desirable feature?
Your voice is breaking a lot.
Okay. Okay, let's test for some time. Hello, can you hear me now, guys?
Yeah, we can hear you. So yeah, I can hear you now, but
Okay,
it
is it
gets
fine
lost in
now? A little
between.
bit.
Yeah, it's a bit better, but it
Okay,
starts getting lost in between.
is it interrupting now? Let me know.
Yeah, it's
ठीक है.
okay now.
Okay. Let me know if it is stucking in between. So I'll go ahead with the explanation.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. Go ahead.
So yeah, the different type of metrics which I showed is quantitative metrics of how much time are you saving, how much time does it is it taking for the your user to actually use and finish a particular task which they are trying to do. The other metrics is about ratings of different usability parameters like memorability. Is it like easy to learn? Should I relearn again after I'm doing a first task? Or is it easy or intuitive? There's another usability parameter which I showed is on efficiency, effectiveness. There is another parameter called desirability. Does your user feel that this feature is a wow feature? Do they think it is adding value to their life day in and day out? So all these measured in numbers, percentages, or ratings is basically a matrix which you can measure. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, we can go ahead with the
Um,
another question.
yeah, I just shared it.
How did you prioritize these keywords? Okay, prioritize on these keywords is basically you need to prioritize this on your basis of project brief. Like example, if your project brief is that redesign a food experience, or redesign a Swiggy app, so your goals can be uh, efficiently. I want initial researches which you do whenever you are doing a project or getting into the conceptual, like research you did is that I asked 10 people, and 10 are employees of IT industry and young people. They don't cook at homes, so they want to have ready made ordered food, like something which is
Just a second, there's some issue. I think there's some issue with the stream. We'll see how we can get Rajiv back. He's been having some internet connection issues. Let me just pause the stream for a second. Yeah, there's some issue. Really sorry for the inconvenience today. He's been facing some issues due to the recent floods and rains in Hyderabad. So internet connection has not been very at par. I am trying to get him back. If he gets back, then I think we'll be able to start the stream again. And in the meanwhile, I have um, there's a form that I'm
hello
sending that
Karan.
you
Can you
guys
hear
can
me?
fill out for the next week's session. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
I we can hear you now.
Okay. How did
There was some issue on
should
my
I go
side.
ahead with that question? How did we prioritize?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, so the keywords is basically how you come up with a project brief. Then you do a research that how many people are actually 10 people. You did a research that are in their young 25 to 35 of age, and they are not cooking. They want to order like a dabba wala service every day, like a postpaid service. So then you come up with some kind of a thing that a new service which should not take more than 10 seconds or 20 seconds, or if they should finish in like 1 week once only. They can need to actually order something, and a whole week of session will be catered by the app itself. So these are some things with initial research and your proposed solution. You get some goals. So what are you trying to solve? Are you trying to solve, give a solution for them so that they don't daily order on an app? Can you actually customize them for a monthly or weekly plan? So your priority or goals should be there. So in the course of time, so keywords for this kind of a solution can be simple, uh, one stop solution for all food needs, or keywords can be intuitive, keywords can be tracking, dynamic. I want to see my dabba wala, like is it coming in the right order, is it coming in the right quantity. So all these keywords which you think your solution is aligning to the goals, have those keywords in mind. Because end of the day, when you're asking yourself what you want to achieve from this usability testing, you will be very focused thinking about those keywords. Like if I'm solving a solution and they are ordering their food for 1 week in like 10 seconds, so you want to test it with your user that are they able to do that task in 10 seconds. Okay, as simple as
Okay.
that. Thank you, Vishnu,
Right.
for asking.
Um.
uh, we can go to the
Right.
next question, Karan.
Yeah. Just a second. I think we'll just very quickly move through these questions. So yeah, there's the
Yeah, sure.
next question.
If you find something unique, how do you ensure that users don't bias their ratings for incentives? Um, Assuming they are offered incentive for you, there is no incentive which we gave Menaka. We actually, that's why this is a client project, so we requested the clients to actually provide us with the users. But yes, in pet projects also, there are, with your mutual connections, you are requesting your user to come, so have a coffee with them or something, I think so. There is no incentive over here. In the course, yes, I know where this question is coming from. A lot of third party usability testing sources like user testing, usability hub, all these people have folks registered on their platform where they get money to actually review websites. Okay, so this is not that kind of thing. We are not incentivizing, we are just having a conversation with them to get genuine feedback from them. So sorry if that is, they don't get biased that way. You need to talk to them and comfort them so that they don't get biased. You need genuine feedback. So tell them, if even if my solution sucks, kindly give a rating which sucks. Okay. Was the remote testing moderated or unmoderated? Is this a question we should take, Karan?
Yeah. Yeah. This is a question I highlighted it just a second
Yeah.
ago.
Was the remote testing moderated or moderated? So the remote testing which we did, yes, was moderated by tools like, we were on a Zoom call, and I was sharing this. Sorry, he was sharing his screen, the user on the other side, and the link was shared on a web browser of Adobe XD, and he opened it, and a Loom plugin he installed in a browser, and he recorded his session and he shooted the session. The Loom browser, the Loom plugin actually records your face expressions with your voice and audio, and whatever you're performing on the browser. So I got all the performance analysis, what he was actually performing on the screen, his face expressions, and thinking out loud, which I told him. So he was thinking out loud, and the audio got recorded. So yes, this was moderated by us. Two designers were there in the
Right.
Zoom call.
Right. So this is, I think, a peripheral question of what you explained in the session.
What would be the number of tests to conduct for it to? Yes, to satisfactorily, so NN Group has come with this research with 6 to 8 people is a good differentiating demographic of users to perform usability testing for any solution. But you can go ahead with your thing. Some after moment of time when you're doing too many interviews and too many testings, if the ratings are coming somewhere averagely same, I think so. 6 के बाद मत करो, I would suggest, because if somewhere similarly data is coming even after 7 to 8, try to cover in 6 to 8 only. Okay, and have diversity of demographics like different ages, different experience, male, female, gender changes, etc. Okay, Shruti Joshi, could you elaborate more about some projects in industry, as in what we see? on YouTube versus reality. Could you elaborate more about some projects in industry? What can I? What is the difference? I didn't get it. What should I elaborate?
I think she can pick it up over personal,
Could you elaborate more about some?
personal message.
You Shruti? Do you want to know about more projects which we do in industry?
I think the things that they see on
Let me know in the
YouTube
chat.
as to how they explain. I don't. I think she has left or something. Yeah, you can pick it up on personal chat with Rajiv over LinkedIn. I think he's really active there.
Sure. So
So
Shruti, you can get in touch
I
on
think
LinkedIn. I think so. I can clarify it in the course of time. Okay. Any other question, Karan? We can move ahead.
no, that was all about the questions, and I think we can end this stream.
Cool.
It was very insightful session even for myself, and a lot of takeaways. There were some hiccups in between, but that's something we didn't have control over. So I think,
Sorry, my
yeah,
apologies. We have a bad
no, I think we
climate
didn't
over
have
here.
control over that. None of us had control over that. So I think we'll be ending the session. And just before leaving, I have sent the link. I'm sending the link of a form in the description that I'll be conducting a Figma Q&A session next week. So you can send in your questions to me, and I can plan the agenda for that. And apart from that, you can follow Rajiv on the social handles that he has, and also book a one-on-one meeting with him on Calendly. And so, if you want any career advice, you want any guidance related to anything, so you can reach out to Rajiv on Instagram. On He has his own initiative by the name of Design Jam, and also LinkedIn is where he is most active at. Yeah, feel free to reach back to any of us on the platforms that we have mentioned. And anything you would like to say before we end the stream, Rajiv?
Okay. Thank you, Karan, for having me here. It was lovely to share my
Yeah,
experience. Do get in touch with me, folks. I think so. Yes, due to respect of time, we were unable to take the questions. But each and every one of you have come who to this streaming thing can actually get in touch with me on LinkedIn. I'm active on LinkedIn and Instagram. Definitely, it will take not more than 1 or 2 hours to give a reply. If it is taking more than time, then definitely I'll reply by end of the day. And we can get in touch. So I do also mentorship, so you can get in touch on Calendly, which the link is shared in my profile. So thanks for having me, Karan, and hope this was valuable for all.
yeah, definitely. It was valuable for me. So I think everybody will take some points away from this session. Yeah, thank you so much. We'll see you next time. And thank you so much, Rajiv, for your time. It was
Sure.
great hosting you,
Thank you, Karan.
and hope to do many more in the future. Thank you so much. Have a good day,
Sure.
everyone. Have a good week ahead and good night. Thank you.